understanding guilt. Why is it here? How do we get over it? And how do we co-create the lives that we want with it? What if I gave you a permission slip that said, your job is to feel good? And what if I told you that the better you feel, the bigger impact you can make in the world? And in fact, that is the magical parenting strategy that we've all been searching for. Hey, I'm Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this show is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life both at home and at work. My attempt is to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh, you will cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your children, your health, or your relationships. And when you learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to ditch self-sacrifice and step into your brave zone. All right, everyone. It is day 1 of the live version or live round of Get Out of Your Own Way mini course. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I want you to head on over to my website, heatherchauvin.com/workshop. This is a 100% free mini course. And I'm doing a live round. So you can actually opt into this at any time, but you can either listen here. But the point is, if you go over to that website, heatherchauvin.com/workshop, you can download the PDF and you actually get accompanying videos. So my intention today is to talk kind of complementary to the mini course. And every day I'm going to be prompting you of which video to go watch and telling you some of my own personal stories of how I've processed this. But definitely go check it out. The workbook is there. And day 1, we talk about understanding guilt and stepping into your brave zone and the emotion of guilt. And I want to hear from you as well. So you can interact with me live. You can send me a text message, 313-710-5199. So 313-710-5199. And I'm active on Instagram, so you can send me a message there at Heather Chauvin. Let's dive in. Okay, so guilt is what I find as the number one of the top, I would say top 2 or 3 things that hold women back from creating the life that they want. When I say the life that they want, I come from a personal and professional perspective. So the women that I work with in my coaching programs are coming to me because they want to feel more aligned. They want to know, how do I find my sense of purpose? How do I live on purpose? But more importantly, how do I manage my big emotions? Because I think, this wellness space, the online self-help space, the one thing that they do a shitty job at, and I fell into this trap when I first started, was I think it's called spiritual bypassing, but it's kind of like, rubbing some bullshit all over our big emotions. And then we have shame and doubt around, I'm afraid, I feel guilty, or I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing, and then this popped up. Does that mean I'm not in alignment, or does that mean I'm in alignment and I shouldn't do it? And it's really easy to doubt yourself during this process and to believe that you are not a masterful creator, meaning that you can't create what you want and desire. And guilt is one of those things that will constantly pop up in your life. And if it's not guilt, it's going to be fear. And if it's not fear, it's going to be worry. And if it's not worry, it's going to be something else. And if you don't have any of those things, please reach out to me because I would like to know what your secret is. The reason why I say that is because you're co-creating your life with these big emotions. They're not bad. It's just contrast. So you have to think about the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, summer and winter, right? I can wake up and I can feel amazing, and I know that that feeling is temporary. I can wake up and feel like a bag of smashed assholes, and I know that that feeling is temporary. So you need to learn how to have energetic boundaries around your emotions, and guilt is one of them. So for me, guilt is a mask. It's fear. It's fear wearing a mask. It is an illusion. Some people call it imposter syndrome. Some people call it, not enoughness. To be honest, working with so many women and myself, it comes back to worthiness, not feeling good enough. So then you begin to overcompensate. So when we're understanding guilt, and for this, for the sake of today in the mini course of getting out of your own way, there's something I call the brave zone. And the brave zone is the messy middle. And when I say messy middle, I mean messy. I mean uncomfortable. And this is where you take messy, uncomfortable, imperfect action. So I want you to visualize, and if you have the PDF, you can see it in front of you. If not, just bear with me. I want you to visualize a box or a square. And in this box and this square is all of your feelings of guilt. And when you are living your life from a place of guilt or fear, what is happening is you take action from that place, right? So you're taking action from that place of fear or guilt. And when you're doing that, you're not living for yourself. You're living for your children. You're living for strangers. You're living for your partner. You are living for your parents. And this can be conscious or it can be subconscious. So you feel guilty. So let me give you an example. We are living 2020, living in a pandemic. The holidays just completed. I want you to reflect on if you overcompensated for the holidays because you felt guilty for your child's Christmas experience. Or if you came from or you are divorced, do you overcompensate because you feel bad for your children? You buy them more, you are more flexible with your boundaries, maybe because you work a lot and you're just giving with no boundaries because you feel guilty. So the point is here, becoming aware of how your actions are taken from a place of guilt, not from a place of alignment. Now, when we are taking action from a place of guilt, when we are taking action from a place of fear, overwhelm, all of that stuff, because we are not truly aligned with who we are at our core, you develop anger and resentment. So all of these secondary emotions or complementary emotions start to develop. So it's just like crap piling on top of each other, right? Like attracts like. So then your emotional state starts to build up and you're like, why am I so angry? Why am I so resentful? And then you might start yelling at your kids, or you might start being passive aggressive, or you might become very judgmental. And even though you don't say it out loud, you're holding it in. So this is what happens when you are living your life from a place of guilt. Now, people will say to me, but Heather, how do I get over it? And then I'll take action. I have no idea. No idea. To be honest with you, I really don't. I still live with guilt. I do. We all have it. I still live with fear. I co-create my life with it. I do not wait for guilt or fear to go away. So what do? Now I want you to visualize another box. And again, if you're watching this or you're paying attention to this on the PDF, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This other box is where you feel the guilt and you do it anyways. You feel the fear and you do it anyways. What do I mean by that? When you honor yourself, when you honor at your core what you need and what you desire, and you communicate that with everybody else around you, what you end up doing is respecting yourself and giving the same respect to everybody else. And when you do that, you no longer carry anger, you no longer carry resentment. You actually don't even carry a lot of guilt, and you don't carry a lot of fear because you are living in alignment. And when you do that, your relationships change, your money changes, your time changes, your health changes. And for a lot of you, you're going to say, but how, Heather? How do I do this? And I'll talk about that towards the end of today's podcast. But I really just want you to get clear. The intention for today is to stop saying, how do I get over? You do not get over anything. And if you listen to Dr. Edith Edgar, she's the Holocaust survivor. I interviewed her a few podcasts back. I asked her that question. I said, how do you still remember what happened to you? How do you get over these big emotions? What happens when your triggers come up? And she said, Heather, you do not get over anything. You move on from it, you accept it, but you co-create with it. So understanding guilt is that it is a part of you, right? It is a part of you. It's an emotion. It's not going to kill you. You are not going to die if you don't act on it. So the brave zone is when you're choosing a different action. So let me give you an example, okay? Let's use Christmas, the holiday, as an example. You feel guilty, and I don't know if you can hear my dog barking in the background, but this is life. You feel guilty because of a situation, right, that happened in your family, and you're overcompensating. You can take action and not feel guilty about it. You're like, I'm going to make this the best damn holiday my kids have ever experienced because it brings me joy. Amazing. That's aligned action. But if you're saying, I'm going to make this the best damn holiday because I feel guilty, that's a very different energy. Okay? So let's say that you're working a lot, or this is the first year that your children are experiencing Christmas split up as a family, or maybe somebody passed, or there was deep heartache, and you feel guilty. And you're like, oh my gosh, I want to spend an extra $1,000 on them, or $2,000, or I want to buy this trip, or I want to do something extravagant, but I can't afford it. And I know that I'm buying this because I feel guilty, right? So you're feeling the guilt, and then you either take the action to overspend and overcompensate, or you stop and you co-create with the guilt. You enter your brave zone and you say, I feel guilty. And I want to overcompensate. I want to buy all this extra crap that is not within the budget. But I'm going to choose to sit with my guilt and do things that don't cost money with my kids. Maybe, I don't know, bake cookies, spend more time together, maybe, download or whatever, delete all the social media, really create boundaries around Wi-Fi time so that we are having a really quality family dinner together. Something, I don't know. This is the point. The messy middle, the brave zone, is when you feel your discomfort and you do it anyways. So I'm stepping into a very, I'm not going to say busy. I don't like the word busy. Intentionally full time in my business. So in the next 3 months, hopefully, maybe my book is coming out in March. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes in order for this to work. And I've been at this for a year or two. We've been preparing ahead of time for this. So I'm spending more time at my desk. I'm spending more time with my team. I'm spending more time, just intentional time. I'm still taking care of myself. I'm still making my energetic time management a high priority. I know I'm training for the Olympics and I know what I need to do. I've been practicing this for years and it's go time. But I need to depend more on supports. I need to really lean into the people around me that I have either hired or cultivated to support me at this time. I need to know that I am worthy of feeling supported. And not everybody is going to be a perfect support for me during this time, but I literally need to stay in my lane and stay focused. Do I feel guilty? 100%. It pops up every now and again. Am I afraid? Oh my gosh, if you only knew. If you only knew. But I'm not allowing those emotions to run the show. I'm sitting with them. I'm feeling them. And I may be at my desk feeling guilty for something, going, oh my gosh, my kids are in the other room. I should be doing this or I should be doing that, right? So first of all, getting the supports that I need to not distract myself from the outcome. So making sure, my kids are not in school right now. We're in lockdown where I live. Do I have the supports that I need? Yes, I do. Whether I'm hiring them, whether it's my partner, whatever that looks like, setting myself up for success. If I can't afford those supports, I need to make sure I'm looking at our money, right? Making sure we're looking at the budget, making sure we're making that a priority so I have the capacity to achieve my desired outcome. So I have the energetic capacity to achieve my desired outcome. So any fear or guilt or worthiness or who do you think you are, I need to sit with that shit, process it, and not allow it to run my life. Not allow it to run my life. So today is all about understanding guilt. And again, I do not want to overcomplicate this process for you. I want you to really sit with this. I want you to ask yourself, where in my life do I allow guilt to run my actions, to lead my life? Because if you are allowing guilt and fear and overwhelm run your actions, you are not in alignment and you will not courageously create the life that you want. And that is what today is all about, is getting out of your own way. That's what this mini course is about. So your challenge for today is say, oh, why do I do that? Oh, did I do that from a place of guilt? Did I take that action from a place of fear? And just awareness. Remember, I still have guilt. I still have fear. I just don't allow it to run the show. And you know what? Sometimes it does. And then I catch it quickly and I get back on track. So you're not alone. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. All right, I want to hear from you. Your next steps are to text me. What was your aha moment from today? 313-710-5199. And I'm also going to let you know that we have Courageous Rewrite starting January 28th. And if you register before January 6th, so pretty much today and tomorrow, you can get $500 off of Courageous Rewrite. If you want to join, head on over to heatherchauvin.com/CR2021 or text me and say, tell me more, and I'll send you the details. But yeah, that is heatherchauvin.com/CR as in courageous and so CR. And then the year 2021. And if you want to win the Courageous Rewrite Scholarship, go check out my Instagram. There is a post up there for today, and it tells you exactly how to win a scholarship for Courageous Rewrite. But if you are ready and you want to take advantage of that $5 off, heatherchauvin.com/CR2021. All right. Guilt doesn't need to run your life. You can feel in control over it. but you got to take some actions. So let's dive in.